Alright, here we go again. I asked you all to tell me what to build. You all told me a lot of things to build, and one of the recurring themes amongst your comments was to build a tank. Like a military shooting tank thing. That sounds interesting. Not sure exactly how I'm going to pull that off without any tracks or anything here. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a fair try. Maybe like a sci-fi tank of some sort. And starting out is always the trickiest thing for me, because oftentimes I won't have good ideas just kind of coming to the table for where to go, for what to do. But I'm going to try. Fortunately, these pieces caught my eye and kind of gave me a little jump start, a little boost to get going, because I kind of like the idea of using those towards the front. Maybe this in the center, one in the front, one in the back, some of these on the sides. Got 4 of those. Looking at the top of the hull, perhaps. But again, what to do about like tracks and stuff on the sides? I mean, I don't have black pieces here. I don't have much in the way of gray pieces here. I'm gonna have to fake it. Or, I mean, I could always say it's a hover tank, but let me see what I can do with these. Not much, right? I'm just thinking, you know, how far could I extend these along to create something track-like? Maybe just at the front and at the back, or maybe I'll only do it at the front. Go alternating like that. I need to separate it out, and then I do have another set of those here. I would like to use these for shaping stuff, but I'm just immediately right from the start, I'm just worried about those tracks. The main thing that's concerning me, because I would rather not go the hover tank route. Even if this does end up being kind of a futuristic sci-fi kind of tank, I still want it to be grounded. I want it to be traction based. So with those behind there, what would I even connect those with? I thought there was another one of these pieces here, but do I do this? No, that's not good. Would like to use those parts for something. I don't want to just stack these, because that's too simple. This just kind of looks a little bit track-like, but maybe it's actually not enough. With those gaps in between, maybe that's not good enough. Or if I go this way, I think that may actually look better. If I come around this way instead. It's not a terrible look. If I go up the front this way, put something behind here, not entirely opposed to it. Kind of gets the idea across. We'll hold on to that as a definite maybe. A certain possibility, if you will. You know, I'll revisit the idea as I go. See, I still have these that I can use. I mean, obviously it's going to be another very colorful thing. So if it's a tank, then it's a very colorful tank. Too bad I only have one of these. Arg. Maybe it's going to be a red-sided tank, so that I can get this in here. I don't like that. Having to sit there. Get this in here. Do the same on the other side. Just for a moment to start to get something blocked in. For some structure. But how are these going to fit into the scene? I like them to be kind of inboard a little bit. Use some inverted. Yeah, I don't have any inverteds left over. Oh, I'm already out of them. Maybe I could wrap those around this just a little bit. I don't know if that's really going to work. Or maybe even just using one of these on each side will be enough. I do need something in there. I'll just put one single stud in for the moment, but kind of wrapping that up towards the front. Looking at this as the left side of the hull. And maybe I could do the same thing at the rear, since I'm considering using just one at each end. I realize this needs to be lowered, but still, I mean, maybe it could have some rake. It should be raked forward, maybe. This needs to be built down a bit, but I don't know. In practice, it's not looking that good to me. So if I pulled this back a little bit and had it wrap just underneath, raise this up. Nah, I'm not liking it. My first thought is failing me. My first idea. And then I'd also like to use these as actual road wheels. See what else I can find to use as road wheels. I don't want to use these. I mean, it would be oh, well, I've got white studs. I can use those for a little bit of consistency. How many do I have? Oh, I only have one for each side. Well, they can be used, and then I have those. These would have been good to be able to use to represent sprockets. I need to. Well, maybe I don't need to. So I was thinking I was going to use this as the base of the turret. Build the turret on top of this. Speaking of which, I do need to make sure that I have slope pieces for the front. I've got some of those here. Yeah, this is going to be a very, very colorful tank. These also kind of look nice as treads. Look at that. They're just much wider than I would like. I've got 4 of them. They're so much wider than I would like to use, though. But just placing them under there. I like that. I like that texture. Need to get these closer, so what if I went ahead? No, I think this is going to be the same distance, isn't it? But it might look better. Nah, it doesn't. I'd like to get it even closer than that. The spacing between these, I'd like to be closer. Both of them need to be angled. They should not be flat. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off. I just don't know if I have enough pieces to do what I'm thinking about. But let's see what would happen with these road wheels then. Because I don't have too many things to hold them either. They need bars or actual axles. That's not going to fit anything. I've never tried plugging something into that. Yeah, it's loose. And this just isn't enough width. This went across the thing. It's not enough. I could try to do that, but it just doesn't feel like enough. I want to make this at least 6 studs wide. I mean, if it's 6 studs wide, then it's going to be like this. I prefer something like 8, but I guess if I do it at 6, this is acceptable. Get the other pair. So those would be placed underneath. Yeah, and then I just use the kind of studs on the side type of piece to orient one of these studs on either side to represent just another road wheel. They can be different sizes, that's okay. These to represent sprockets, or these. I mean, I could go any number of ways with that. I would probably just, I might even center it. Use one on either side. Yeah, I might just do that. Put this single stud in between these two here. Alright, I only have two of these, but I also have these in black. Those are usable to represent something similar, and if I put that on there, it might look good enough. Good enough. Of course, I would rather be a little bit more consistent with it than that, but I do have to compromise early and significantly with such a small number of pieces. But you know that already. Let me, just for now. Oh yeah, and then I need to think about a barrel or barrels also. That's really important. So, looks like my barrels are going to be these. These can be attached from sides. Something can be clipped on here, but this can kind of be extended out a bit. I have one spare. These can be tipped. Again, going with, oh, what am I doing? Going with the sci-fi thing. These can come off the sides. Yep. I think that's doable. Is there anything else? Oh. But I only have those two clip parts. Just looking for things that I can use to extend these even farther. The more they can be extended, the better. Up to a point. But these, they need to clip in. This is not good enough for my purposes. At least I don't think. It's not half bad. If it would have, it kind of ends up looking more like artillery if this faces straight up, because the potential here is to do this, just kind of embed that assembly into a turret so it can be covered from either side. Imagine like that, right? I have two of those side by side. It's more of an artillery piece there, and will lack the articulation that I want, you know, to be able to bring those barrels down their elevation. If I just use these, yeah, see, that gives me even less articulation, so that's not good. You know, I'm looking at the possibility of kind of ignoring this 90-degree bar portion of the flashlight piece. Well, I guess I could just do it like that then. I think it's gonna have to go like this. Just as the idea. He's gonna kind of turn. That's a little weird, but that's okay. At least this way I would get the up-down motion that I want. The inclination. And uses up some pieces that I don't think I'd be using otherwise. those in fairly close to each other. I mean, perhaps those could even be turned inwards, but something like that. And then by default, it'll be angled just slightly up. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. If we want to go in the sci-fi direction with it, you kind of see the blasts. Oh, well, that piece is gone for a while. You know, light up those ends like that, or they could be done in red. But I think this is a good base for the barrels and how to mount them. Yeah, that's not bad. Would these be useful for anything? Perhaps. For the sake of... Nope. Just bring them in. Just for the sake of greebling, basically. Look better this way? Maybe. I could go either way. I think I'm going to go with a little bit more meat towards the more visible end and orient them like so. For now. Alright. That's some progress. Something's better than nothing. You and you. That's going to have to stick out. Tracks, man. Tracks are the big issue here. Now I could say this thing has purple tracks. But if purple represents tracks, it's not necessarily a good thing. This needs to get farther forward, which it can, actually. Farthest forward I could place that is like so. It's not terrible. It's a little bit too squared off, a little bit too choppy, but if I kept it in one, like so, maybe I can accept that. These road wheels need to look pretty low, though. But you know what? This may actually end up working. That'd be great if it did. Just say, you know, it has purple tracks. All right. Let's see what I can do. Let's see what I can do with that. I'm kind of looking at building the tracks first instead. Should I keep that blue there? Should I switch to a gray? I think I'm gonna keep it blue for now for the stud on the side piece. Mirror this and get this guy here. Forward sprocket placement. It's a possibility. It's doable. And then maybe just the rears are covered up. Get some shaping along the side. Do I want to do this twice? I do have 2 pairs of these. Bring this down and then bring it down even further. It's possible. Don't have a lot in the way of plate pieces to make it happen, but I can try. Might have to do it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna try it. It might work. This I'm not sure about, but this might work. Give that a little coverage from the sides. I want to turn my attention back towards the turret momentarily. Just has captured my thoughts a bit. I'd like to use this piece as well. The seat for something. Don't know what. I would just kind of like to. It's not bad. Interestingly, this could actually be turned like so. Put a jumper in there. Where could this go? What could this do? How could this be done? Those could be separated out just a wee bit. Too empty, too plain. Ugh. I like that. More of a anti-air kind of look. Try to fill that in, fill in that gap there a little bit, but it's a maybe. It's a maybe. Wonder what I could fit into that space. Of course, I can still use just these with the single stud on the side. Use a pair of those. That eliminates the jumper. Since it is that width, yeah, I'm really not gaining anything as it is right now by using just the single, but I do get that one stud there. What can I attach to that one stud that will help to fill up that space efficiently is the question. Do I have enough height to fit this in yet? Nope, I have to go up at least one more. At least one. One more plate of height. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if I do that. Add some connection on the back. Use the corner piece facing forward. I could put some little things on it as well. This might not be so bad after all. Can even put some things on there that I wasn't sure I'd be able to use, because I don't want to use those as road wheels. Hey, where are you going? Come back here. Dropped all the way to the ground. Try to get those flat spots to face outward. Pull this out just a little bit. I can always push it back in, but we'll go back and forth a handful of times over the course of the build. I need to figure out what I'm going to put on the top of this, but this is still an interesting direction. Or at least it's a direction. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. So let me just decide if I want that towards the front a bit, then I can hang something beneath here, or if I want it centered, or if I want it further back. Or if I even want to do it like this. Sorry about that. Can hang this from there then. To use it to attach things to the front. Targeting related items. Let's try that. Got the orange here. Will this fit right in the center? Go the right way, go the right way. So that's too far. So the other option is to go here. That's too far as well, and I don't like how high up it is. Don't like that at all. So I might just take this little yellow thing out for the moment. It's getting a little messy here. Bring this back down to earth. Yeah, see, I'd ideally like it to be not there. Yeah, that doesn't stick out enough for that. And it is not ideal. But then I do have this room for those 90-degree angle portions of the flashlights, the handles, to kind of fit in there, come into that space a bit, and that's going to limit them from going up and down, which is not so great. Yeah, that's not so great. This really needs to move back. So other options to cover that top. I like the shape that is possible with this, but again, I don't know if the offset is going to work for me. So right around there. Put this underneath instead. Yeah. That gives it some clearance to fit. Okay, that's kind of interesting to me. Still need to fill in something, or I again need to fill in something inside. And let's give this another shot. Oh, that's not going to work. Or will it? With the placement of that anti-stud there, can this corner fit into that space? Oh, look at that. It fits. This is flat. As a matter of fact, it was angled forward a little bit. So there's more than enough room for that to fit in there. That's interesting. Okay. Might need to move these out of the way now, but I'm okay with that. That may even look better, just having those facing towards the bottom. Just rotating these 90 degrees. May look better from the side. That all fits in there, surprisingly. Just fills up the space a bit. Just something different. It'd probably be better to have something a little bit more textured on the front. But I just wanted to give this a shot. I might come back to it. But for now, what do I have to use as a turntable base? What am I going to use? I mean, I could just use like this. I think I will for now, but it'll need to be elevated up a bit. But I think I can just do that for now. Just consider that. But move that out of the way. I need to get back to some structure building here. Oh, is this... Hey. Is this a thing? Put this right there. Take some of this off. Could even... angle it down right here. Don't have any more purple to represent the rest of the track, but I am going to have hopefully some coverage here. So that would need to go in, which means that this 2x4 needs to be replaced by ideally a 2x2. Just going to use a 1x2 for the moment. Maybe this can be inset a little bit. I don't know, might be a little bit tall when viewed from the side. I'd like to keep the whole thing a little bit more sleek, a little closer to the ground, I think. It doesn't have to look realistic, you know, it doesn't have to be believable by modern day standards, but I would like it to be. I would like it to be somewhat believable by some standards. I only have a pair of these. What if I only... Yeah, that can't work. I don't like that. Yeah, I'd like it to be about there. Don't have enough. If I had another of these, if I had 2 of these, then I could make that work and keep them in nice and flush, but I only have 1. Be nice to have some angled armor. Wish I had more purple pieces as well. So much stuff that I wish. These things are never easy, are they? Never. Not even a little bit. I'm looking at these axles and just thinking, let me just go ahead and put in the big plates now and kind of start getting those connected, but I know that, or at least I feel that I'm going to need to use these big plates for something else. For now, though, let's give it a try. We're going to have to go across as well. Maybe I can use the red. Hide that just a little bit better. Get them right. Nope, that needs to be higher. Got a couple grays there. I want to save those. Alright, I'm just going to use these for now. Just to get that extra elevation that I need. It's more elevation than I would like. But from most angles it'll look okay. This is not looking good at all. This part, but let's see how this fits together. Feels okay to me. Okay, with the tracks then, maybe what I need to do is set myself free of the purple a little bit. Say, yeah, the track color is purple, but they're not going to go up on the top. I just went with that because it kind of looked good, but maybe it doesn't make so much sense. I'm going to go ahead and use this just as a temporary piece of glue going across. So the treads are still purple, but now they're covered. That makes me feel better, having those treads covered, or the idea at least that the treads are covered. Tracks. This can be connected in. I don't know if I need that much overlap because then that's going to mess with the approach angle. That'll be a little bit too obvious, I think. That's better. That's definitely better. Good. At the rear, Be nice to have these attached upside down somewhere. Then again, would have been nice to have them attached upside down up here. Like that. Get them up front, but then I end up not being able to attach these unless I use these bracket pieces. I've already used one of the bracket pieces, but I could salvage it for this guy. Then there's a whole matter of how to actually attach it with the pieces that I have. That ain't working. If I put another plate underneath, then I could get this in closer. The red might actually do it too. The red might be a good idea. See, I've got this back here. What else do I have in red? I've got these. Using that on both sides. I've got these. I thought I had another of the studs. Gonna have to stop worrying about color here real soon though. I've got a couple of these. Maybe I'll have to use these at this point. Oh, but it needs to be out. Yeah, it needs to be a single stud wide, so that's not gonna work. So if I did these on one side, the other side's going to use this 1x2, and it goes together like so. Is there enough room? Like that. I kind of want to try that. I like the concept. What else do I have? Nope. I'd have to use a different color inside of there. This also needs to be attached somehow. Oh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I slip this over. That's offset. That's still offset. Meh. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's not going together. Hey, careful now. Try the same thing with this. Put the dark pieces towards the outside. Has the exact same vertical challenge. What if I did it coming in this way instead? Hide this behind some other things. Feels fully inboard. That's not good height right there for this sprocket type thing. It's just not at a good level. Gonna attach a bar piece to that. I've used up most of my bar type stuff. this is not good. It's not good at all. I like this idea of going upside down, but it might not be feasible. Now, what if tracks were considered to be red? I don't know, I just have so many red pieces. Red, large, thicker brick and slope pieces that I feel like those need to be hull and turret surround. So I think sticking with the idea of purple tracks is the correct approach, but just not gonna be using those upside down after all, or so it seems, because this shape is not bad. It has few problems. One of the problems it does have is hiding the sides. I guess I could use the bracket pieces, just have this stick out just a little bit more. Let's see what I have here. Got the blue. Where did I use those other blue ones? Oh, they're in here. That's okay. Alright, I'll use the gray right now. See how much space I have to get these to fit in there. The answer is not enough. Hey! Will this work? This might actually work. Yes, yes, yes. I think it will. I think it will. Just try it. Of course, that does require using more jumpers. What all do I have for jumpers? Did I use that black one already? Get some stuff organized, a little bit reorganized. Yeah, I used that black one, but I can harvest that. So I have one of these. I could use this at the base of the turret. That frees up some of these, or frees up these two orange parts, orange jumpers. Do I have enough vertical clearance under the wheels to do this? That is the question. The answer is yes. Need to lift that up a bit, but I can make that happen. These white ones may not end up being used as or in the way I expected. Oh, I've got one of each. Going from the orange, I'll stripe it. Raise this up just a little bit. See if that's good. Yeah, I think that's about right. Then one of these road wheels is not even visible. So what's the point of even having it if you're not going to see it? Let's move this entire assembly forward by one. And get this guy to start here instead. Yeah, so it just kind of clips off the rear wheel. Front one will be fully visible from the side. I like where this is going. Perhaps then this turns back. would be a good way to end. Good way to end the track back here. This gives me another jumper as well, in addition to being the correct length. I think that's the right decision right there, the right direction to go, because that magenta that I have there at the rear is the closest I have to purple. Makes it start to look a little bit more continuous. I do still have a problem under here, but it's still possible to pull all of this back, leave those studs on the side pieces in place, pull all of this back like so. Just tighten it up a little bit. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. Would like something under here. I don't think I have what I need. But this takes this almost all the way to the ground. If I were to do that. And then I need to rob the turret again, but my idea was to use this at the rear. Start to bring that up. Gosh, this is looking a lot like one of my Planetary Defense Force mocks. One of my tanks for that. Just in its overall shaping and the coverage on the sides of the treads. It's looking a lot like it. This can just be covered in with, you know, a little cheater connector. That might just have to happen though. Is there any other option? Not really. Yep, too bad about the color, but gotta do it. So I'll figure out something else to do with the turret. Or, you know, still a possibility that I will come back and say, no, I really liked what I was doing with the turret. I want that back. We'll see. Just go ahead and do the other side here, mirroring exactly what I did on the left to the right. Hopefully. Yeah. You get moved in. Those. Yeah, there's not enough clearance under here. This 2x6 white plate is pushing against the road wheel there, so I need to replace that with something. If I have like a 1x4, hello, nope. I'll find something else for that, but for right now, these would have been nice. They don't go in far enough. What else? What else is an option? Don't really have any good options for that. Oh, just leave them alone like so. That does bring those down a little bit more. But it might be okay. It might be okay. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway. This is where I was working here, and get you in place. Bring this under. Gray stud, or gray brick with side stud. Gray brick with side stud. These two are left over. I've got the gray connector to the rear. This goes like so. Yep. Where is... Oh, here you are. This goes there, and that goes there. Kind of like having this lifted up by one. That was a little bit better. Makes everything come together better. Numerous ways to do that. Not worried about it yet. All right, let me start thinking about getting a top deck for all of this. Now, I don't want to use these purple pieces, although now that I put it there, What I was going to say is that I don't want to use these purple pieces here. But, you know, because purple represents track. But it doesn't have to. More than one thing on the vehicle can be the same color as the tracks. Kind of like that angle. The yellow is okay. I like that. That longer slope. And I do also have this that I could use at the rear. That's going to have to be scooched back, but it's doable. It's going to be off by a half a stud, I think. Because if I just get this in, it's a little bit off. Yeah, it's one plate too high, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. Don't have much in the way of tiles. It'd be nice to just put a like at least a 1x4 tile beneath that, but gotta use what you got. Yeah, I kind of like using those yellows towards the rear, so maybe I will after all. Do like so. Like sliding that in. I do. Getting a little bit of texture in there. Right in that spot. Again, really wish I had more in the way of plates. Starving for plates this time. Starving. It's bad. It's really bad. Worse than ever, I think. Did I not have two of these? Yeah, I did. The other one was placed here at the front. Alright, let me use the white ones first. Oh, that's not going to work. Again, road wheel gets in the way. If all of that was lifted up, it's all falling apart, man. My world is falling apart. That is still too high. Alright, well, if you were back here and you came off that, yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I just need to lift this up by one, so I'll go ahead and use one of these white stud pieces to lift this whole assembly up by one for right now. I need it. I need it desperately. It goes here. Use this guy and this guy. Nope. Oh, it's here. Just gonna see it. It was away from me. Now this can also be centered on that stud. I don't know about that. Of course, I also have these. It's an interesting idea, but changes the entire plan. Or does it? It's not terrible. I'd prefer to line it up with these, though. I can go in a half. I'm trying to figure out what I can do about this gap right here. And there are a number of ways that I could go with that. I like this overall shaping. I don't like how much that covers up though. I really put some effort into showing those road wheels in white, and I'd like to continue to see those. But the full coverage is not a bad look either. Yeah, there's no room right there. Just going to leave that right there for the moment because I find it to be interesting. I'll revisit it as I go along, because obviously it can't be left just like that. Now these may prove to be useful on the underside for same purposes that Lego typically uses them in sets to let it slide around, but it'll also help to potentially tie some things together from underneath if need be. Next, I want to get this upper deck squared away. That's too short right there, but it might be the answer. These connectors, the gray 1x2 plate connectors, cramping my style. Keeping me from connecting things on top there. That's not good. Take some of this unused stuff apart. I'd like to use this around, I think right around there, now that I think about it. Yeah, right around there. So let me make that happen. Right around there. I think that's going to be no sweat. Place this down the middle. Use it to just fill in some space. Why not? For now, at least. Fill in some space with that. And I just need one more. Again, plate underneath. Unless I dropped all this, took that one stud out. I still don't think it's a good idea. That white stud that I placed under here to elevate all this. Oh no, it has to be raised up, because otherwise there's not enough clearance for the wheels. So that's got to be there. Alright. Gotta do what I gotta do. As usual, the durability is not very good at this point, but that can be revisited a little bit once I get down to a minimum number of pieces. Actually, do I have enough room right there? Yeah, I could. Don't want to use this bright color. Got white. I guess I could put white in there just to stop some of this madness. Get that right there. And you should be lined up. Yes, you are. I also have the blue, these, a couple of those left over, but I like to keep them as spares till the last moment. least that's my current thinking. Okay, so this holds itself together a little bit better now. A little bit. And yeah, I wanted to get this in somehow. So, is there also simultaneously some way that I can negate this offset here? Perhaps by using these. Will this fit? Oh, yes! Oh, that was meant to, that was clearly meant to happen from the start. Oh, that just ties it together perfectly. I did not plan that at all. Probably never would have planned that, but that just ties it all together. Yes. I'm okay leaving this little gap back here. I'm fine with that. Yes. This is good. Okay. We'll go ahead and put this back on. Because its substitute is no longer available. I mean, I could still put the gray ones up here if I wanted, but that's not happening right now. Keep in mind it's going to have this dual barrel turret on it. Look at this, it's coming together. Haha. Nice. Whew. It feels good after to go from so much uncertainty to having something start to feel okay, start to feel usable, cool. I still have a pretty nice number, actually. I was gonna say a fair number, but a pretty nice number of specialized pieces. I've got all of these. Oh, and I still have these red studs as well. Cool. All of these ball and socket joint connections. Still have bar connections, a couple clips, one spare lightsaber hilt. I've got these, which could be used for something around here. What is the spacing on that? It's 4, isn't it? Oh, no. Yeah, it is. It's 4. So why is that not fitting? Oh, because this is in a weird space. Why? There we go. Okay, so that's gapped out. That's why. Because I have that little half stud offset thing going on, which is okay, I guess. Boom! Solves that problem. Not for the purpose of this, but at least gives me a continuous surface going across, and I can build from there. But that's not necessarily the way I'm going to go with it. Not necessarily. This might be a little bit steep. I don't know, it kind of helps to tie the shape together, perhaps. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Might need those for the rear, we'll see. But I do have 4 of these guys left over, that's good. Alright, what else can I do back here? that width. The width of 7 now gets tricky. What can I do to mitigate that? Well, got these. I have 1 here. It's going to be a different color on the other side if I go this route, but that's a potential connection. Could potentially drape these over the sides to fill some of that gap. If I'm going to do that, then I could use the ball and socket joint pairs. It's a little open. Use these for gap filling. They just take up the space themselves. Extend this out. If only I had more plates. No way. No way. This isn't happening again. Is it? Nah. It's not. It is not. That really got stuck. Because see this, that stud right there, that gray one is going into one of the anti-studs. It's going into one of the tubes. Kind of acting as an upside down jumper under there. Don't like that. I do not. Get in there. Get in there. I know you're able to. Yeah. That fills some of that space, actually. That may be the answer. Now, do I have enough room here is the question. For those Lego logos to just squeeze by. Well, technically, I think the answer is no. By a fraction of a millimeter, I believe that is an illegal technique there. And I'm trying to avoid those. So if I had an L, I don't. L-shaped brick. Let's go this way instead. Is there anything else I can connect from underneath? The Lego logos on the tips or on the tops of these studs on the 1x2 bricks are too wide for the 1x2 gray plates. They would push them out ever so slightly. Now if these did not have logos on the tops of them, if they were hollow studs, that would not be an issue. I've got these pieces, but do they have the height? If I could extend this out, I could potentially make that work somehow. But I don't think it's going to be a good idea. Yeah, see, I think that right there is legal. And that gives me some studded surface on the back, should I choose to use it. I may not. This needs help. Just for the moment, I'm going to clamp this together. That piece may stay, in which case I would do both of them, or I could do this instead. Also an option if I need that to be a smoother lower space without that lip there, but I don't think I do need that. So let me just put this in here. I can always take it off. And my pivot for my turret could still be on this, but we're gonna look at it from that kind of perspective. You know, it needs to be raised up at this point, but the ability to turn, see, that's what I was going for the whole time. It needs to be raised up, but I think this is the correct direction. Now, here, I could place one of these. Could be a good look. Could be a good look. Of course, I would like to use these as well, but that green color is pretty ugly. Just saying, it's pretty ugly. Just smooth these sides a little bit, maybe. As viewed from the front, I mean, I guess that helps with the contouring. Don't like the color, but really helps with the contouring. Exterior shaping. This is interesting. Ideally, this should not come down so much, but then what else would I do instead? I've got a couple of these regular bricks that could be substituted there. Fills up that space. Really hate the color on that, but let me give it a try. See what it looks like. Give this more bulk. Yeah, that's unfortunately a better shape. I hate to admit it. It really is a better shape, and perhaps that could help with the smoothing even further. Get some tiles over this. Can bring these down. It's not necessarily the best option there. Is there anything I can get down in this space instead? Just to fill the gap is all I'm thinking of right now. This is not necessarily a good idea, but something that I wanted to try. No, I think that's a really bad idea. If I put them on top instead. Oh, collapse that in a little bit. It's okay. We have the technology. We can fix him. Of course, these could be used as, you know, additional, like machine, you know, coaxial machine guns. Yeah, it just doesn't fill that space at all, and it doesn't give good shaping. Breaks the curvature there. What else could I put in that space? What else can travel down in there? I don't want to widen things up too much by, you know, curving one of these around. Oh, that doesn't even fit anyway. This gets in there pretty close. So that does not leave enough room here. If I used parts with studs on all sides for the gray there, then I could fill that space up. It's a possibility. Yeah, let me consider that. Do I still? I've got blue ones. I've got blue and I've also got tan as replacements. For right now, I'm going to try the blue on top of this blue plate here. I was talking about earlier with switching to 2. And I have other parts that can attach, that can still be brought around, like this can hang off the front and can still get some kind of angle there. I can attach other small details to that, so it's still feasible. Put the bracket off the back. There are options. There are options, but all this is to get at the idea of having 2 of these available. Rearrange, rearrange, rearrange. What is, oh yeah, it's connected across here. Oh, those are all together also. It comes up like so. So if I get this in here, then I get that stud facing towards the rear as well. And that can be used to attach something to help fill up that gap. I might even just use something this simple. Simple as a little tile. It's a lot better than nothing, I'll tell you that. Yeah, it just feels more acceptable to me. So I'll mirror that over to here. This wants to come apart again, and it did. Down. It also gives me those light gray stud on the side pieces back. Potentially those could be used for the turret instead. There we go. I want the square corners. There. Get you in there and get you back in place. All this was previously connected here. Other way? Nope. Like this. Like this? No, it wasn't connected like that. Was it? I thought it was up above. No, it was here. Alright. Probably bring that turret back down. Needs space to rotate, that's right. Don't like the black wheel. Yeah, I don't know where that needs to go. To look its best. Just needs to cover something. Try it there for the moment. Probably won't like that, but that's okay. Alright, where was I going with this? Yeah, that gap is now filled up decently well. I'll go ahead and mirror that. Got a little bit of carrot colors going on back here. I've got 2 for either side. Is there any way that I can do that better? No, because I need the anti-stud. That gets a little hairy in there. This is just really tricky shaping in here. I'm trying to figure out how to most effectively fill up that space with the parts at hand. Gives me that elevation that was needed, and this could also potentially go underneath instead. So it doesn't need to be as tall. Come on, get in there. Those gray plates in there are an issue still. This turret is good enough around the front. You can put a little bit more detail on it perhaps, but around the back, not so much. And I don't have any 2 by 2 remaining, so potentially I could use one of these under the base of the whole thing. I feel like it'd be kind of cool to use these back here somehow. That doesn't stick out far enough. Yeah. I like that idea in general. It just doesn't come back far enough for my needs. It's not even a full thickness of a plate. And that leaves another gap. And I don't really appreciate that gap, but I might just have to live with it. Do the same thing on the other side with my closest substitute. Got the white ones. If I took one white out, take out one. Nope. Oh, didn't realize I had a spare. End up with one blue, one red. Put one of those reds there. And use this. Yeah, I'll just do that. I mean, just for the consistency. It's really not important. Although, you know what? I think I can get away with just that. Or can I? Nope. No. That needs to be a single stud wide. Dang it. At least I can provide a little bit of support beneath that with the help of some spare parts. So I'll use one. Oh, no. Spare parts. Here. Parts that needn't be visible and shouldn't be visible can be used to help limit the pivoting of this assembly, even though that inner tile doesn't help with clutch power. It helps to prevent some of this anytime I put my finger down. So I was going to use an extra one of these, and then this guy. Oh, geez. I only just realized I had forgotten about this. Comments by now. What about the blue piece? Jang, what about the blue piece? The blue piece. Oh! Got it. Haha. Yeah. What about the blue piece? Blink. Yes. Yes. Cool. Still would like to have some detail on the back of that, though. And I don't have very good options for such. Way too tall. If I took this from underneath, I could face it forward. Again, too tall. Whatever I do is going to increase the height, the bulk of the center of the turret by one plate. Just not ideal. But I harvested these white stud pieces simply to do this. Get this to be consistent. Just to have that rounding on the outer edge, because I liked that. Like so, and like so. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible from the back now, to me. Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, I don't like the colors, but the shaping is not bad. What else do I have? Are these useful in any way? Perhaps. Because I already have some yellow coming from the side, so that's not terrible. And in the center, I don't have any 1x2 jumpers left. So there's not a whole lot I can do in there. Got one of these left. Oh, is this even a better idea? I think it is. But this isn't going to work. Nope, that will not work. Does that fit? It's hard to tell. I think that fits okay. Just kind of hugs the outside. That's something I've never seen. An interesting shape and size artifact. I think that's legal. I don't see any suggestion. Oh, wait. Maybe this is not in all the way. No, it's in as far as it'll go. The lime green brick, I mean, the plates on the side are pushed in a bit, but the lime green brick is touching the side of the 1x3 jumper there, the blue jumper with the two hollow studs on the top, or open studs on the top. So it's not being limited in its placement by the modified white plate piece. So I think this is actually okay. And it looks like it is flush. Oop. Yeah, good. Take that off. Make sure this is flat all the way down. Get this squeezed back together the way it should be. Yeah, I don't care. I'm leaving that off for the moment. Get this in. Get it in. There. Okay, that's good. Yeah. I think that works. I'd like to use that at some point in the future. You can see a repeating vertical pattern using this sort of design. Not necessarily with these. You could use the 1x2 plates with the horizontal bar, modified with the horizontal bar on the side, and leaves that little gap. Could be interesting. Like a mental note of that. But I was just trying to, right now, fill in the gap there, and I think I've done it. I think I've done an okay job at that. So, what else have we to do here? Can hang something off the back of this if I want to. Don't necessarily want to. Let's see. Don't like that. What else? No, I don't think anything else. Now, if I did these right here, or maybe if I only do one of them off to one side, then kind of consider some sort of sensor. Yeah. I like that asymmetry. I do. I'm gonna have to get that one trans bright green stud that flew off earlier in the session. Let's see if I can reach it. I'll take the microphone off for a second. Alright, I got it. But the green on the tips of the barrels kind of prevents me from using this, although I could put it behind something. Potentially. like that. That's okay. It's not great, it's okay. I still have a couple of these left over. Radio antenna. I'm thinking about bringing it back here instead. I have two of them, so why not use them? Might look a little bit confusing. Nah, I think it's okay. I'm gonna keep that. I'd like to put something right in here, though. I really would. Ooh, I still have grill pieces. Should those go there? Ah, it's not bad. Hey, come on. What are you doing? Get in there. That is not bad. Those give it a little extra bulk. A little bit of believability for me. I ended up not using these, huh? Is there any reason to use them? Ugh. I guess they could have been used in here with studs on them to hold road wheels on the inside. Oh well, too late for that. That's a no. If I attached it up here, that only angles down a little bit. I don't like it. At least I don't think I like it. Clip. No, I do not like it at all. Yeah, what's the point of that? I mean, I could pretend it's something, but I'm just not feeling it. So, how about underneath there? Ah, there's not quite enough space. What if I put it this way? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, yeah, you go right there. That's where you live. From now to the end of eternity. Okay. What remains to be done? Looks like not too much. I'm coming. Yeah, this is okay. I'm coming towards the end here, for sure. I did want to get some detail on the back of this turret if possible. And I kind of would like to see that angled back. Maybe even just... Maybe I may have just answered my own question. How to do that. I want it angled. Kind of looks like a hairdo that way. The founding fathers... John Adams or something. Or, not John Adams. Like Ben Franklin, I guess. Kind of. I mean, I would attach something underneath that as well. I like the angle. I like the angle a lot. Hate the color. And I hate the color contrast. So I have these tan pieces. Oh, and I've got gray. You know what? Gray might do it. Gray might fix the problem. Just before I take everything apart, let me see what that looks like here. And if I also brought in some gray here to help tie that together, that's a maybe. Alright, I'll go ahead and execute it the rest of the way. far back could this go? Not far enough. Yeah, just kind of doesn't work. Yeah, kind of does not work. So instead, maybe that'll help things a bit. Hopefully this has subdued that orange enough that I'll be okay with it. Still have the tan option. It's a little better. It's not as atrocious that way. Yeah, that definitely helped a lot. Do I have any tile that I could fit under there? I've got the little gray ones. Ooh, do I even want to put the gray individual tile there? Yeah, I do. I definitely do. Definitely. No question. Is there anything else? I mean, I guess I have these left over I can put down in there, or I could put them at the front. Is there anything else I could put at the front? I could put this at the front. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put this at the front. I'm not going to push it down all the way just yet. Just want to make sure that doesn't look terrible. Yeah, it does not look terrible. Potentially elevate it, but that would cause other problems. So I'm going to push it down. I'm going to use these here as filler. Again, lower parts, flat parts facing outward. Helps to kind of stop the eye from going in and noticing that they are just dials. Hopefully, that's the concept, that's the theory, the hypothesis. Get this aligned a little bit better here, if I can. I can even angle those lower arms in just a bit. That looks cool from underneath. Those little robot arms, droid arms, battle droid arms. Get these a little more vertical. Yeah. Colors are terrible, but I think I have made a tank of sorts. One of these left over. Don't really need to connect anything else on the underside after all with these inverted tiles, so I don't need to use them. I won't use them. I don't have a good place for them. I'd like to cover that back just a little bit, but I don't think there's room. That would not fit in there. And the brackets are already used up. I could have come from underneath. Like so, I believe. Let me try pulling this out. This thing that was intended to be there from now until eternity, but yeah, kind of sticks out a bit. I don't know. A little better. Nah, this is just starting to paste things on for the heck of pasting them on. Put some texture there. Better than nothing. Nope. What else do I have? What else do I have that can go up? Don't like that. Don't have enough space for that. Would have been cool to have a little extra filler in there. Speaking of, do I have enough space? No, I do not. I think the Eternity piece may just need to stay. Nothing for that, nothing for that. I don't see what else I can do. I wish this was better covered from the back, but just not seeing good options to proceed from here. So, try just a couple more things. That doesn't have enough room. This at least creates studded space on the back, but the white does not work. It's not that bad, I guess. I'd like to have something in the center. Add a single stud there. Nah. This is all that I have left with a clip. Now I could perhaps place this back here instead of that red piece. Better. Texture. Texture is a good thing. Still wish something was here. Just want to paste something there. Now I have studs on the side pieces. That is a single brick. I don't have any 2x3 bricks. Can I make one though? I still need that to continue all the way through. I'm just trying to figure out how I could create that space. This, yeah, I think it may be possible. This to happen. So if that happened, see, turning these into these is what I'm looking to do right now. That needs to be there. I do have enough space underneath to attach what? I guess it would have to be this guy. Not a good attachment, but it'll have to do. Yeah, I don't have anything else that'll accomplish that, I'm afraid. So be it. That does what I needed. need to do a bunch of disassembly to get in there, I think. Oh, it's not that bad. I mean, this blue piece ends up being pretty low, but I mean, I guess if it's going to be that low, I could use this here instead. Let me try that. Ends up simulating this. Is there anything? I guess I could use this guy. Again, just to provide a little bit of support under there. There we go. There we go. Put it all back together. Texture. That's not a good idea right there. It fits, but it's not a good idea. I think having it facing in was still the best option. Could actually use this underneath. Finally a use for this if I wanted to. Like, what do I put on this now? I created this, you know, this textured space with some studs on the side, but what do I do with it now? Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that right there. So I will get rid of all this, put it back, actually. Yeah, getting rid of it. Getting rid of it. Putting this back in place. That needs to be down by 1. Disaster. Everybody get back to your places. Places, please, places. Why is this hanging so low all of a sudden? Oh, wow. Far more unintended disassembly there than I thought. Ugh, yuck. Get some of this to clamp itself together again. There. Okay. Thank you. Oh, derp, derp, derp. There we go. That's more like it. Thank you. It's not all lined up correctly just yet. Oh, actually, just pulled it up to where it needs to be. So I think it's actually better now. You can rotate. Yeah, that looks so much better than having it just smooth back there. I mean, it's not great, but it's such an improvement. Such an improvement. Okay, good. I'm glad I went through that extra trouble, put you through that extra boredom as I made that swap. That was important. So I would not have been sufficiently satisfied with the end result there. Wow. This is incredible. For plates that I have left, pow, that's it for plates. And I could even just put this right here, right now. I have no plates left. I used every single one, including the spares. You know, these sets always come with some spares of the little things, the 1x1s. And those are all gone. Now I could potentially use this on the front in place of that gray tile. Do I want to? I don't think I do. Maybe I do. Not like that. Maybe like that. Let's see what it looks like. See if it looks smarter to me. I think it's kind of a wash. Maybe I can just take this questionable trans bright green stud out then. Lever is bent to one side. I don't like it. It's a little bit better. Yeah, it has a little bit more of a robot head kind of shape to my eye. Alright, let's see what this looks like from the side here. Make sure everything is fairly straight. That I don't know which of these I like better. This or that. It covers up the road wheel a little more, so it's a draw. It's a draw. I'll just make it consistent. Tank. Sweet. Alright, so thanks for all your suggestions. I found this to be much more of a challenge than expected. I actually was, once again, expecting this to be pretty simple. Like a tank, got lots of slope pieces in the set. I can use those for the hull and everything. Yeah, the tracks would be an issue, but you know, worst come to worst, I could just make it as a hover tank. And then I started getting into it, and I was like, oh man, I can't do this. Nah, it was never a matter of can't. It was always just a matter of how. This is my first time looking at it up close like this. I kind of like the shaping. Especially from the back, it worked out better than I thought. The dual turret setup was a must. You know, it's obviously somewhat sci-fi type thing. This can rotate around 360 degrees. Do have, you know, durability is what it is, but do have to consider that the antennae back there might get in the way, but you know, these can be angled way up. Use it like artillery, potentially. Use it against air targets, potentially, if it's an energy-based weapon or has really high, high speed, high velocity projectiles or a high rate of fire. And it also has the coaxial, which it's not fully coaxial because it can be independently adjusted up and down. Oops, not like that, but like this. Smaller point defense weapon, potentially. Anti-personnel weapon. It's going to be angled down a little bit, maybe a little bit more than that. Yeah, see? It works. Does everything I need it to do. Doesn't have rotating treads, you know, but oh well. Has a suggestion of them. Given that I had nothing like track pieces available to me, I think that it gives enough of the idea of being a Caterpillar treaded vehicle with the open sides there, with the road wheels showing. Don't like these. They should have been something else. I just don't have that something else. Don't like the green on the side. Don't like the yellow. The yellow's okay, but green's the worst. The back works for me. Much better than expected. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, you told me to build a tank. I built a tank. Not necessarily fully realistic. It's super colorful, but I am okay with the end results here. And looking forward to getting this online, which will take a while to render up the video. But by the time you're seeing it, that's all done, and I'm on to something else. I will do this again. I've seen some other suggestions that came up a bunch of times. I'll go through the suggestions again this most recent round and see if I can pick out another good suggestion from that lot. You know, double it up again. Looks like this is off just a little bit, but yeah, maybe I'll make another thing before doing another round of suggestion gathering. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Whether you skipped through or you actually just kind of had it on in the background, I'll talk to you again soon.